Today let's talking about how Volvo 240 series was improved in comparison with 140 series.
Patrick's Garage.
Grab your snack, welcome back. And first of all, as you know, one main difference between 140 series and 240 series, yes, engine first of all, front suspension, and main thing that Volvo 140 series used inch size thread. All the car with inch size threads. But 240 series they decided to produce with metric size thread. And thing is that latest models with equipped with B20 engine, 140 series, and earlier 240 series also with B20 engine was with metric size crankshaft. Inch size engine with metric size crankshaft. I can't imagine why they decided to do this insane move. Front suspension, you think that this is main difference. Front suspension instead of this steering box. This was a really reliable suspension and is adjustable. But now this with struts, this suspension, like in a lot of modern cars, this design of suspension, Mark Ferguson. I don't know how to say correct. I don't care about that. But this suspension more complex in adjusting, in maintenance, and this suspension require a booster. And in latest cars, electric boosters, but hydraulic steering wheel hydraulic booster they're using in 240 series in latest models, and earliest models was without any boosters. If we saying about comfort inside the car, they decided to install these regulators for backrest, but these regulating things are really complex. Why they decided to so you want to rotate to adjust this angle for your backrest. But in 140 series was just lever. You lose it, you adjust, and then you tighten it, and so this will be fixed your backrest how you want. You don't want to rotate these adjusting wheels to inclining this backrest how you want. You can do this with 140 series and at one moment. Just lever. You lose the backrest fixation position and you want to adjust how you want your desirable angle. You don't want to rotate these crappy wheels for adjust your backrest. And yes, thing is that the main disadvantage of latest 140 series earliest and all these Volvos was without triangular windows. The front doors. Why they decided to avoid these triangular windows? Probably they fight with smokers that way. But this is just insane move. In all cars, after 60s and 70s, they decided to avoid these triangular windows. I don't know why. And yes, these ugly door handles. How you can open these door handles that way? 140 series was with more comfortable door handles, chromed door handles with button, was more reliable. And yes, again, if we want to say about handling, 140 series was more comfortable, steering wheel was more bigger diameter, shifter was more comfortable. Why they decided to install this leverage system for shifter, a lot of these crappy bushings which wears out, probably for that. So they wears out, this bushing wears out, you want to go to replace these bushes for your gearbox and all these crappy parts which are under the tunnel of your gearbox. Probably so. Was more longer lever, 140 series was more longer lever, and they decided to do shorter lever for shifter. 240 series, not so good in handling, I think. And I don't know why they decided to producing these aluminum heads for their engines, and they decided to install camshaft to the head. You know how they can figure it, that oil pump on the bottom of the engine, and a lot of period of time required to the oil way to the head. More better when camshaft was in the block, so oil goes immediately to the shaft, to the flat toppers. 140 series B20 engine was more reliable because camshaft was in the block. So cam lobes get oil more faster after you start engine, especially in winter. And yes, if we sing about car interior, I can't imagine why, for what reasons, they decided to install this cluster, this panel with a gauge. Dashboard was aligned design. Why they decided to do this protrusion for cluster, for these gauge, for these seated lamps? Why they decided to do this protrusion on the dashboard, especially for this cluster? I can't explain. Probably they want to repeat each another like ships. Yes, car manufacturers want to repeat each another. They want to produce modern car design, but eventually materials more crapper. This is absolutely crap. Dashboard with cracks, 240 series. So these myths that Volvo reliable was true only when Volvo was with B20 engine. They used this engine for marine, for Volvo Amazon. Now I'm saying about really reliable Volvos. Volvo Amazon, 140 series. This was a very good designed engines, but later they go insane. They decided to use more cheaper materials, and eventually Volvo goes down the toilet. I want to admit that I'm really impressed by design and reliability of old Volvos. I mean Volvo Amazon 140 series, 240 series, 740 series, 940 series in general before they decided to go to front-wheel drive models. This very second they producing electric vehicles, they decided to avoid diesel. And I think this has to do with environment, I think. We all can agree that electric Volvos more better than previous their gasoline cars. Really horrible thing when exhaust pipe of old Volvo belched out dense black smoke. It was with diesels. 240 series used Volkswagen diesels. But meantime, factory chimneys belching out a lot of smoke. And how you going to get electricity for your electric cars if you're burning coal? Yes, a little bit hypocrisy with these electric cars because we want to produce electricity for them somehow. Yes, this is hard to believe, but environment getting a lot of pollutions while you're producing electricity for your electric cars. And indirectly, electric cars not so ecological because they want to consume electricity. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Click the subscribe button and notifications bell so that way you can be notified as soon as I upload new videos about are repairing.